The following program is produced by students of the Brian Lamb School of Communication at Purdue University.
On this week's edition of Fast Track, we'll take a deeper look at how the Lafayette community assists in helping the homeless, and we're going to visit the university's Alumni Center, as well as discuss the issues of academic dishonesty.
We'll meet with some of Purdue's student entrepreneurs, discover the benefits of obtaining a liberal arts degree, and bring to light the profound reasons as to why Purdue students are participating in this year's Purdue Dance Marathon.
We'll also uncover how the study of animal health is helping with our human health and what Purdue researchers are doing with this topic.
Welcome back to Fast Track. We're bringing you this week's edition from the center of Memorial Mall. I'm Jenny Struck.
And I'm Alexandra Johnson. As a student at Purdue, it's easy to forget about life outside of campus, and therefore you might not think of homelessness as a problem in the Lafayette community, but it has recently been increasing over the past few decades due to part of the recent economic downturn. Well, the Lafayette Community Services work together to help end homelessness, especially for homeless families. Sarah Miller has more on the story.
If you are to survive as a human being, you've got to do whatever it takes and whatever you have to do to make it work.
It's easy to get caught up in the fast-paced college atmosphere, but chances are at the end of the day you have a place to call home. There is an increasing population in the local community that does not have that luxury. When Terry Klein was evicted from her home in Monticello, she, like many others who lose their homes and jobs, was uncertain about what her next step should be.
I had no idea where I was going to go, what I was going to do, where I would be. And one of the most frightening things of all is change. People don't like change. People don't like change at all. But one day you'll find out that you do have to make a change in order for things to work.
When Terry decided to make that change in her life, she ended up at Lafayette Transitional Housing, a nonprofit organization located in Lafayette, Indiana, dedicated to providing services to people in the community that are homeless or at risk at losing their housing.
We're very busy here. Our homeless population continues to grow. And I've been with the agency for 19 years, and I've seen a huge, dramatic increase in the number of folks that need our help.
Even though the homeless population is rising, there is the misconception that the homeless are all lazy. The transitional housing program helps the homeless help themselves to find jobs and housing. But what Jennifer notes is that those who may be labeled as lazy are actually people who have barriers such as mental and physical disabilities that prevent them from being completely independent.
So that's part of the issue, is that people don't understand. I mean, I think it's an easy thing just to say, oh, just go get a job. But when you actually get to know the people and you know their story and their circumstance, that's when you realize that there's more to it than that.
Though Jennifer knows she cannot end poverty, she does have another goal for the community.
We really need to focus on ending homelessness so that people are not sleeping on our streets.
Lafayette Transitional Housing served over 8,500 different people in 2012 through their various programs, a 20% increase over last year. The Homeless Services Program has the largest food pantry in the community, an on-site showering facility, a clothing room, and case management assistance so that people can get the right help for their needs. They also provide housing solutions for singles, families, and permanent solutions for those who are chronically homeless. All of these programs are intended to end homelessness for good. Terry says that in order to get to a better place, you cannot be your own biggest obstacle.
You cannot get particular. You can't get particular. If you get a job and it's cleaning toilets, you've got to take that job. There may not be another one out there.
Homelessness may be a hidden problem in your community, but in order to solve it, we may all have to take a walk in someone else's shoes. For Fast Track, I'm Sarah Miller.
For many Purdue students, graduation isn't the end to their involvement on Purdue campus. The Dock Alumni Center encourages the interest of alumni and friends to contribute to the quality and progress of Purdue University. Kara Miller visited the Alumni Center to get a better understanding of how it all works.
And it's a symbol of what you want to become, right? A graduate of the university. So in a way, it's the future home of our Purdue students, our future alumni.
Tucked away on South Campus is a building that most people do not know about.
Dauch Alumni Center houses two organizations, the Purdue Alumni Association and the University Development Office. Both of us work closely with alumni. We do it on an engagement and involvement with the university basis, bringing people together, and development does it on a donation basis. They're looking to bring people to help the university in a financial way.
Dauch Hall boasts many meeting and dining areas that allow for the Alumni Association to host events right here on campus for returning alumni.
The building itself has the advantage for us is that we have a location where people can come to. We have great reception area. We have a location for banquets if we need to do that here. It's kind of like having our own clubhouse for alumni. They can call it their own and they can be involved with it.
At first glance, it may seem like there is not much to see in the building, but Dauch's atrium offers a brief glimpse into life at Purdue.
It's called the Spurgeon Hall of Spirit, and so by doing that, we have lots of folks come in and they take their pictures on the Boilermaker Special. The other items in there, the displays, are all very historic in nature.
This area includes displays on the history of Purdue, some of Purdue's traditions, famous alumni and faculty of Purdue, Purdue's athletic history, and a running video about life on Purdue's campus. It may seem like the building is all about alumni, but it is also home to PACE, the Purdue Alumni Student Experience.
PACE is a social and networking student group. It's one of the largest student groups on campus. We do different social and networking events. The nice thing is attendance is not required, just encouraged. So it's a great way for students to go to different networking events, interact with some of the alumni that participate, that come from the Alumni Association engagement. We do tradition events to get students more familiar with some of the traditions on campus. We do events that are Purdue Pride and tradition focused.
So the next time you're walking by Dauch and aren't sure if you want to go in, the Alumni Association has this message for you.
Be curious, come inside, figure it out. Explore a little bit when you're on campus. Take an opportunity to see something that you otherwise wouldn't, or that might push you out of your comfort zone.
Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Kara Miller.
Coming up, we'll discuss the issue of academic dishonesty and how Purdue is preventing this problem.
We'll be right back after this.
We are all Boilermakers, but we're also much more. We're history makers, exploring the farthest reaches of our universe, often when strapped to a rocket. We are hope makers, rebuilders of Haitian cityscapes who ensure they'll now withstand any disaster. We are difference makers, developers of drought-resistant crops that just might end world hunger. The fact is, what we make moves the world forward. We are Purdue, makers all.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That we do, and we try and you, yeah, you. Have you ever dreamed of being on TV? Well, in the Brian Lamb School of Communication, we do more than that. You can learn about camera operation, lighting techniques, live TV shows, real client PSAs, weekly news productions, and more. For more information about the video production programs, visit our website or the advising office.
Welcome back to Fast Track. Now, whether you attend Purdue University or not, most of us are aware that the university has a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to academic dishonesty. But what is considered dishonesty may not be as obvious. Our Fast Track reporter Erica Seifert takes a look at what Purdue is doing to help educate students on the topic and some of the consequences associated with academic dishonesty.
So, consider a med student who cheated on a part of an exam instead of mastering the material in that unit. And then they leave the university and they are in a diagnostic situation where they're going to diagnose an illness, and it has to do with the material that they missed and they cheated on. It doesn't only hurt the community they were in here at Purdue when they cheated, it also hurts other people outside the community.
Here at Purdue, there is little debate about why academic dishonesty is not tolerated,
However, there is some confusion about its definition.
Unfortunately, academic dishonesty varies from professor to professor. Some professors will say you can work together on projects or homework assignments or whatever it may be, and some professors will say you can't. So that discrepancy and that lack of uniformity causes a lot of confusion within the school.
The inconsistency about the definition of academic dishonesty is a concern for faculty as well.
That's really an important question for the community to define and to talk about. It's one thing to hold up honesty as a value in the community, and I think that's a great thing to do, and I think everybody wants to do that. But after that general value is held up, then I think it's very important to operationalize that value and to define for the community what it means.
Purdue officials are also aware of these inconsistencies and are working with students and faculty to make the terms accessible.
We encourage faculty to be very clear on their syllabus, or at least in the first week of class, about what is and isn't academic dishonesty.
And we're always available to come talk to students and see what you have to hear, see what they have to hear, and work on the problems that they present.
Purdue officials take instances of academic dishonesty seriously and emphasize that these cases have consequences.
Students need to know that we have a really low tolerance for that. We have that very low tolerance, and escalating sanctions. So a first sanction might be you need to learn about this and take an ethics course. A very serious sanction might be that you're no longer welcome at this institution, or even that a degree you won't receive a degree from Purdue.
Changing the way people think and talk about cases of academic dishonesty may be key in limiting them.
I think it's important for everybody to talk about what are the potential harms of this, because sometimes I think we think about it in a very narrow way as just an individual sort of behavior that doesn't really hurt anybody.
Purdue's Academic Integrity Clause is available on the university's webpage. Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Erica Seifert. There are over 1,700 students on Purdue's campus who have taken certificate in entrepreneurship and innovation courses. Some of these students have already established their own businesses from the help of these courses. We went to find out who some of these students are and what they have already accomplished. Catherine Ducharme has more.
When you give items, you aren't just giving us a bar of soap, you're giving 8 showers. You're really helping in a big way. That's what we really try to focus on.
This is one of the dozens of students at Purdue that has created their own business through the Entrepreneur and Innovation Certificate Program.
I'd say that over the 4 years, we collected over 20,000 items to give to homeless shelters throughout Massachusetts. Now we're at 70 universities, so being a concentration in supply chain, I really get to use logistics and have my own little company, essentially.
The certificate is available for students in any major after completing certain courses.
First, we have a number of courses that are part of the Certificate in Entrepreneurship and Innovation program, and those really are designed to give students all the fundamentals of what it means to be an entrepreneur, the types of skills they need to be an entrepreneur. It teaches them what the difference is between an idea and a real business.
The Burton D building here at Discovery Park is where Purdue students can begin their adventure as an entrepreneur.
I'm attempting to start a venture that's based around alternative energy.
Hamilton and his partners are working on an idea that focuses around finding a different method of radiation collection.
Taking radioactive waste that's already been spent and would normally lie in a field until it's decayed, and harnessing the energy that comes off of that just naturally.
One student from the program even won the Think Chicago Entrepreneurial Competition.
In an ideas competition where we think of an innovative idea for technology that is new in Chicago to implement to improve citizens' lives. And through that, it was a GPS detector to locate potholes to help improve the roads. And once we were doing a poster for that, none of the other people had the drawing or the art experience behind it, so I did. So I kind of took the visual representation and just ran with it.
What really helped her win was having her own business that deals with visual creativity.
It's a 100% customizable t-shirt company, so organizations around Purdue, such as Student Government and Residence Hall Association and the Women's Basketball Student Section Gold Mine, they go to me and they have either their mission that they want to show or promotion or a creative slogan for the year that they want, and I go and design it and create the slogans and the visual representation of that.
Students in this program think of it as a huge stepping stone that took them to where they are today.
I wouldn't have thought about being an entrepreneur, even starting my company, before I entered this certificate program, and I think it's just such an opportunity and a great chance for students to actually go and try something on their own and get so much experience that is more than the average resume.
Reporting for Fast Track, I'm Katherine Ducharme. The College of Liberal Arts is as diverse in its concentrations as it is in its many opportunities, ranging from trips to Washington, D.C. to across the globe in Africa. Liberal Arts allows for a complete educational experience. Reporting on the story is Fast Track's reporter Chris Jones.
The College of Liberal Arts prepares students to become more analytical when thinking and more effective when communicating. Ranging across all disciplines, liberal arts offers a broad range of knowledge for nearly all interests.
I think the main goal for me is that the students recognize that a liberal arts education prepares them to do anything in the world. And oftentimes students are drawn to a particular major because they like what they're studying, they like what they're learning about, but they're not really sure, what am I going to do with this major when I'm, when I graduate? What are the options that are available to me?
Dean Weiser is the instructor for General Studies 300. The class, held in Beering Hall in room 2290, brings in alumni to inspire and speak with students about their careers. Kendra Bracken Ferguson was one of those alumnus brought back to speak about her achievements.
Currently, I am the co-founder and chief operations officer of Digital Brand Architects, a company that I launched in October of 2010, so we're 3 years old, and we specialize in social media strategy, tactical execution, as well as online talent management, and we were the first agency to really combine online influencers with monetization properties and helping with brand integration.
Kendra advises students to follow their passions, traditional or untraditional.
I think that it's being open to all the possibilities, experiencing as much as you can, and then just really never closing any door, always looking forward and just being open to the adventure of creating anything that you want.
For anyone in the College of Liberal Arts, there is no limit to the possibility for adventure. Senior in anthropology Michael Jones recently ventured to the Amazon rainforest to live among the Kayapo Indians.
So basically we were down in Brazil to conduct a ethnographic research opportunity for the undergraduate or anthropology undergraduate students within the liberal arts school here at Purdue. And one of the main activities that we got to do was we got to watch and participate in a festival or a ceremony called the Great Naming Ceremony, which is an annual ceremony that less than maybe 50 people have actually witnessed.
Experiences like Michael's allow for different cultures to connect, but students don't need to travel to other ends of the world to achieve links with other individuals.
Someone said last week, and I thought this was really, really useful, really important advice. A student said, well, how do you network? How do you start networking? And the person said, look around you. The people who you're in classes with now are part of your network. You need to think about that. That you're going to graduate, they're going to graduate, they're going to go off in one direction or another. You're going to go off in one direction or another. But if you keep connected with those people, they become part of your network, so do your coworkers, so do the people you meet through your jobs and so forth.
If you would like to contact the College of Liberal Arts, the Dean's office is located in room 1290 of Beering Hall, or you can call 765-494-3663. I'm Chris Jones, reporting for Fast Track.
Up next on Fast Track, we'll meet with students participating in Purdue University's dance marathon, and we're going to listen to some of their reasons as to why they partake in such a great cause.
We'll also find out how animal health is helping with the studies of the health of humans.
That we do, and we try and
You, yeah, you. Have you ever dreamed of being on TV? Well, in the Brian Lamb School of Communication, we do more than that. You can learn about camera operation, lighting techniques, live TV shows, real client PSAs, weekly news productions, and more. For more information about the video production programs, visit our website or the advising office.
When students walk across the Purdue University campus, they're doing more than going to class. They're preparing to meet the challenges of a diverse and fast-paced world. Purdue students encounter ideas that span oceans and cross continents, inspiring new levels of innovation that will build a better future for people at home and around the globe. At Purdue, we're preparing tomorrow's leaders to deliver solutions for our changing world.
I am an American.
I am an American. I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
That's the way most of us put it, just matter of factly.
They're plain words, those four. You could write them on your thumbnail or sweep them across a bright autumn sky.
But remember, too, that they are more than just words.
They are a way of life.
So whenever you speak them firmly.
Speak them proudly. Speak them gratefully. I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
I am an American.
Purdue Dance Marathon is an organization that has students dancing for approximately 18 hours to raise money for kids at Riley Children's Hospital. Over the years, PUDM has raised over $1 million. However, there are deeper reasons as to why Purdue students are so passionate about the philanthropy. Our Fast Track reporter Jenny Strock met up with these philanthropic students.
Come and get some balloons and cake.
Miracle Maker Week is one of the many fundraisers that students do to help raise awareness about Purdue Dance Marathon. All week long, students gave out cake and red balloons to remind students to register before the deadline.
So every day we've had events. Yesterday was Wear Red for Riley's. So everyone that was aware of it, we wore red, and we had a balloon release they were red and they said Riley's and PUDM. And that's just kind of, raise awareness, if people saw them, they would come over to us and talk to us, and we're just trying to get as many people to sign up as we can to raise as much money as we can to go straight to the kids.
Activities as simple as writing inspiration on a chalkboard to an unexpected dance mob on campus, these students are passionate about spreading the spirit of PUDM any way they can.
But people don't know that the committee members and exec members are working throughout the entire year. We have many events. There's state auctions, there's cannings, there's formals, there's just anything you can think of to try to get the word out, to get people involved. But there's a lot of things leading up to that.
Purdue Dance Marathon has become one of the largest student-ran organizations here on campus. Most people say they do it because their friends convinced them or to build their resume. But it was Kelsey's news that she received last summer that made her pledge to fight for those who can't.
What inspired me to do Dance Marathon was my nephew Caleb. In June of 2012, he was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. After he was diagnosed with this cancer, that really inspired me to want to do whatever I could to help him out, and PUDM is the exact place for that.
This year, Caleb will be one of the many sponsors that are chosen to speak at PUDM. For Kelsey, she couldn't be happier, she says, but it's just having him by my side is what makes this whole thing worth it.
Having my nephew be a Riley's kid definitely inspires me because I know that we are helping Riley's kids, but having actually knowing one and knowing the exact situation and how much it changes your life, it affects everyone in one way or the other. Obviously, it'll affect me. Because I get to sit there and watch my nephew and my whole family. People are helping them. People are there to see them, and they've been working so hard to put on an event for him. So that's really touching to me.
And it's these Riley stories like Caleb's that inspire dancers to keep dancing the whole 18 hours.
When it comes down to it, just seeing and hearing stories from the Riley kids about how Riley has helped them or saved their lives, it makes every effort that you're doing 100% worthwhile.
My favorite part about Dance Marathon is absolutely the Riley stories. When you're there in the middle of the night, it gets crazy and everybody starts to get tired, but when the people come on the stage, they tell you their story and they tell you why it matters that you're there, why what you're doing is actually making a difference.
But my goal is just, I just really want Caleb and my family to have a good time. I want him to kind of understand and realize that what it is. I know he's only 2, but I want him to know how much of a fighter he is, and I want him to go there and realize that people are there for him and they're helping his situation. So.
Jenny Strouk reporting for Fast Track.
Purdue researchers from the School of Veterinary Medicine recently received a grant to teach students how animal health is helping with the study of human health. Our very own Karina Gonzalez has the details.
Many people may not know that animals play a large role in keeping people healthy. Purdue University researchers are using a $1.3 million grant to help further students understand the role animals do play in our lives. Dr. Sandy San Miguel from the School of Veterinary Medicine was one of the researchers to receive the 5-year grant to begin creating initiatives and set plans in place in Indiana schools.
And I'm the Associate Dean for Engagement at Purdue's College of Veterinary Medicine. And I coordinate all the engagement activities, but I have a special passion for P through 12 and community outreach.
One of these initiatives being the Fat Dogs and Coughing Horses Animal Contributions Towards a Healthier Citizenry.
It's funded by the National Institutes of Health through a Science and Education Partnership Award. And we partner with people all over Purdue and get to work in the community and partner with teachers and public schools to get kids excited about the science behind keeping people and their animals healthy.
The School of Veterinary Medicine is working with several other Purdue departments and organizations to create a broad program.
So we have partnered with teachers from elementary, middle school, and high school, and we've provided them information, and they've developed curriculum that is age-specific for their kids. And the curriculum meets Indiana academic standards.
Dr. Colleen Davis, the Director of Diversity Initiatives in the College of Veterinary Medicine, also plays a major role with the SEPA grant by coordinating the recruitment efforts.
One of the important things that happens through initiatives like SEPA is that we are able to reach younger kids in the community, and it is a strategic goal of Purdue Veterinary Medicine to increase diversity within the veterinary medicine field.
Purdue University is striving to help make a positive impact on the diversity and inclusion within the veterinary medicine profession through different initiatives and recruitment.
My role in the SEPA grant also involves recruiting younger students into healthcare fields, hopefully veterinary medicine. One of the cool things about the SEPA grant is that it focuses on bringing into the classroom exciting, interactive ways that science plays out in students' everyday lives. So it's a way to get younger students interested in science.
Not only has this program partnered with teachers for a formal curriculum, but has also made material available online.
We have a 4-part museum-grade traveling exhibit that was debuted at the Indiana State Fair. We talk about clinical trials, and each part is hosted by an animal. So Tucker, the golden retriever, talks about how new medicines are made because Tucker had cancer, and the medicine that was used to help Tucker, the golden retriever, is now being used to see if it will help people with the same types of cancer.
As part of this new curriculum, books were developed for kids interested in veterinary medicine. The books talk about careers in veterinary medicine as well as science and how they can keep people and animals healthy.
If there are teachers out there that are interested in partnering with us and helping us assess the books, we can provide free books and other items for the classroom.
In the back, they can pull out sheets where they can list what they think is wrong with the animal. So it's very interactive, and it gives them a taste of what it would be like to be the veterinarian in the room with the animal, trying to make a diagnosis.
And we found that kids that participate in this program have positive attitudes towards science and get excited about learning more things in school and after school.
Purdue's Discovery Learning Research Center in Discovery Park will be responsible for assessing the projects to determine their effectiveness. I'm Karina Gonzalez reporting for Fast Track.
That's all we have time for on this week's edition of Fast Track. Thanks for watching. I'm Jenny Strauk.
And I'm Alexandra Johnson. Join us again next week.